was from the December flea market that we have monthly, and it was kind of a tale of two boxes. So let's get into it and look at the two boxes. I'll be using the hashtags Thrifty Thursday and Thrifted Treasures. Those are hosted by Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic and Sheree at Turquoise Dreaming, and I will put their information in the description box below. First, let's start with this box. It's an older shoebox. Scooters are cuter, it says. There is a price tag on the back. And my daughter actually spotted this box on a table for a vendor who usually has dollar deals. Everything's on the table is $1. And it says zippers on the side, and it was full of zippers, but I saw some other items that I wanted. So I said, is that $1? And he said, yes. So I got the box. And I think that even the cover and maybe the back could be used as kind of funky journaling cards. Interesting little quirky shoe drawings on those. So then let's go inside the box. And as you can see, it was quite full of zippers. I bagged these up because initially I thought that I would donate them. I didn't feel like I had a use for all these zippers. And then I saw a video by Maggie at Sunset Crafts and More, and she made some really cute tags with the zippers. And I do want to do more sewing journals, so I picked out a few, and I was going to save those. And then I went back and watched Maggie's video again, and I realized that she had also used the nylon zippers as well as the metal, and she simply just cut them off where she wanted them to be and glued them down. So I decided to save all of them. Some of them are super long, but realizing that they can be cut down kind of opened up a world of possibilities. So I am going to hang on to the zippers. In the meantime, I had pulled out some of the zipper packaging because I thought it was just so interesting. This one has interesting cuts in it, like die cut shapes that make windows. And with the typeface and the pink color, I thought that this could be very interesting for a retro sewing journal to use parts of this. I'd also saved several of these. I like the key, and again, there's a little window envelope. And one of these has such an interesting kind of cutout on the back, the way it opens, that I thought that would be great to make kind of like a tuck on a page edge. And these little ladies in gold are so fun. It could be interesting to just kind of like circle cut those or something and use those. I also saved these little packages that the zippers came in. I thought they were cute, and they would just make good storage for beads, brads, just little items like that. Just some interesting vintage storage. There were two other containers as well that I want to keep for storage. They had just very ordinary things in them, like hook and eye, and I dumped those out into another place I have them stored. But I like this kind of stop sign shaped one. And then this one looks like something was glued to it. So I'm going to try to glue something on there that's maybe sewing related. And then I can use these little old school containers for storage as well. There was also a pack of eyelets. I was very happy to have those. I don't have any in colors, and there are a few colored ones in there. So that was great. I'm definitely getting my dollar's worth from this. A couple more zippers. These were rolled up in those little containers. There's a little piece of corded edging that someone's made. A little bit of lace. Tiny bit of crochet lace. A stretchy sequin waistband. I like the graphics on these hook and eye, so I saved those out. There was this little bundle of receipts that are interesting, and I think those could be used for junk journaling too. They look like someone was selling maybe pottery supplies. Glaze and brush, it says. It's a postcard in here. So I'll definitely hang on to that ephemera. Here someone was cutting some sort of a pattern, a scallop pattern. I don't know if it was maybe out of a dry cleaner's bag or what that is. I saved this too. I thought this could work in a vintage sewing journal. Interesting graphics there. There was one of these little calendars from 1971. Might be able to use one of the pages in a retro journal. There was a little bit of ball trim. Couple more hook and eye. I really like the peacock feather one. Could look great in the right kind of journal. And another little snippet of lace. And then there was one more piece of ephemera that I was particularly interested in. And I've already put that in this Autumn Seamstress journal that, yes, it's still not done. Almost there. But I knew I had this envelope that needed some ephemera. And I saw this little card sticking up at the top of the box. And initially it was one of the things that made me grab the box of zippers. I really like this little card. So I've already cut it down and inked it and added it to this envelope flip in the Fall Seamstress Journal. All right, let me see if I can clear this up. Make some room for the other box. In one of my earlier videos at this same flea market, I had purchased this Anna Griffin embossing folder, and it's the really long one. And I do have the extended platform on my big kick, so I was excited to have that. And it was $2 at the time I bought it, so I told myself when I went back, I was going to see if they were still there and I might buy a couple more. Well, this time when I went back, she had it marked that all embossing folders were $1. And she had the same box that she'd had them in before. So I started going through them to see which ones I wanted. And she said to me, you can have that whole box for $10, including the box. And I said, sold. Let me show you what I got. This is the box. It says embossing folders. It's too big to hardly even get in the screen. But what was inside it was definitely well worth the $10, not to mention the really pretty box that I will use to keep all my embossing folders in. So the first thing I discovered with a little research was the set of embossing folders that make lines, and these are for rosettes, smaller and larger rosettes. And then the other skinny ones make these different paper folds. They basically score the paper and then you fold it, and you get all kinds of little pleated and smock designs and all of that. I did a little research, and these sell from anywhere to $30 to $60. And I'm not even sure if you can still get these. I happened to ask the vendor, I said, how did you get so much Anna Griffin stuff? Was there some sort of sales rep or something? And she said no, she'd gotten them from a man who did not know what they were even for, but he'd gotten them from the home of a woman who apparently stayed home and watched a lot of shopping channels and purchased all these Anna Griffin things that way. So I don't know if these are available, but I think they'll be great to play around with and try some paper folds. And then there were 11 different embossing folders. Some of them have like 2 designs on it. I'll just show you them real quickly. This one is called the trifold. So that's interesting. You could make like a little book out of that and have embossing all the way around. Just another design. I love Anna Griffin designs. I think they're just really beautiful. This one's called a medallion scroll, but I think it has quite the snowflake look to it. Would be good for winter projects. This one is another two-parter. This one's a floral and then what they call picot stripe. Looks like a lacy edging. Another trifold. Another trifold with big roses. I think that's beautiful. And then another trifold. So there were 11 of those, and then these were in there, and she included these as well. And these are just really, really large die cuts for borders. So I think I really scored with this. She just seemed to want to be getting rid of stuff, and I was glad to help her. So let me move all that. And then I'll show you kind of some of the one-offs that I got in addition to my 2 boxes of goodies. This little teacup was on a dollar table, and I just thought she was so cute. It's Bailey's, you can see there. But I just liked her winking with her little blue eye. And I'm keeping extra glue and my key card that I use for smoothing out the glue. And when I got it home, I realized that just went really well with this large mug that I keep all my most used things in, my glue and a pencil. And so I think those two look really nice together on my desk. So that was on a dollar table. Then I got a few other odds and ends from the man who had a lot of dollar items. So I picked up all these little buttons, and they were $1 for the whole group of them. There's nothing amazing or super vintage in there, but I just like having all different kinds of buttons. And some of them are nice round shapes. Some of them are kind of iridescent. So it just gives me some choices when I'm working on projects. I grabbed a few coins, not for any kind of value, but just to potentially use on a journal as maybe a dangle. I don't know if I dare drill a hole with them in with my Dremel or not, but I'll find some way to use them. They just were really pretty little coins. Found this box unopened of an Irish linen handkerchief. Pretty little embroidery of a shamrock or a clover. It's still in the package, not opened, has the little ribbons, and says that it's pure Irish linen. Made in Ireland. Also from him, I picked up this ruler, and this is just nostalgia. I really like typesetting. It's been part of my background for a long time, part of what I studied in school, and I currently am collecting and printing old letterpress type for my journals. And this is just from the American Type Founders Company. It's a ruler that measures your type height in points, and it's just a part of history for me. It's local, it's Des Moines, and something that I'm interested in. So I just want to put this next to my little press. I found this button card at another dealer's table, and this is a nice vintage one. So I picked that up. I think that was $1. And then finally she had this fabric. It's got a bit of metallic in it, which I didn't even realize when I bought it, which goes to show you how bad my eyes were before the cataract surgery. But it is of opera glasses and just pretty little accessories. And I do have a journal I put on hold for holiday stuff of Victorian wonders is what I call it. And I did want some ballets and operas and things like that in there. So this will be great for some sort of pocket or flap or something like that. Thanks for coming with me today to the flea market. I hope you enjoyed this and that you'll subscribe, and I'll see you next time that there's a flea market or I have something else to show. Thanks. Bye.